God showed me that Eve goes in the garden and she encounters a snake. This subject has been taught a million times. I've taught on this subject, and I never saw what I'm about to share with you. She encounters a snake. A snake is the picture of Satan, obviously, but a snake is also a picture of a distraction. And so as she encounters this snake, the snake begins to check her and see where her faith is. Come on. And what she actually knows about who God is and what he said. And he catches her and he says one little word he changes. He says, what did the Lord say about this apple? She said that I should not eat it or touch it. And God never said don't touch it. But she let that one little word touch. And then guess what? She's touching it. Or what? What would happen if she eats it or touches it to her? What would she say? You will surely die. And here she is holding it. Come on. And she's not dying. So there's this mentality that, wait a minute, if this isn't true, then this isn't true, then this is how people get lost. This is how we lose so many people in the church, is you don't really know what the Father said. You don't really know. You heard something somewhere, somehow, and you don't really know for yourself what the Word says, and you get tripped up. So if this ain't true, then that ain't true, then that ain't true, and she eats of the apple. And then Adam comes, and he eats as well. What the Lord showed me last night is this. Come on. Come on, can you just walk with me on this? What would it have looked like if Adam would have said no? What would it have looked like? Come on, man of God. You walk in and your wife has done something. She's eaten of something that you know is not right for her. You knew more than you probably knew more than she knows that you're not supposed to eat of that. And she did it. What would have happened if he would have been like, I'm going to back up out of here. God told you not to eat that tree. I know better. You know better. I'm going to walk out of here. You're on your own. Come on. Can you just see it? What if that had happened? What if Adam had said, you made a poor choice. You deal with it by yourself. What would that look like? Here's what I want to show you. Come on. I'm almost done. I just hope that you're getting something as we get into this last part here. Ready? Adam is the first man. Jesus, when he comes, is known as what? The second or the last Adam. Okay? Adam has his bride, Eve. We are his bride, the body, the church. Are you with me? Adam, come on. Hypothesis. Let me just lay this on for you to chew on. The Lord showed me that Adam could not eat of the apple because he could not leave his bride. He could not leave her to deal with the consequences. That's his flesh of his flesh, bone of his bone. He could not leave her in her circumstance, in her punishment by herself. Come on. Watch this. Lord, help this come out right. Jesus came knowing full well that because of sin of the first Adam, that he had to restore what Adam lost. which was what? Relationship with God, covenant relationship with God. And so what, in essence, what that was a picture of is that Jesus could not let you deal with the consequences of your sin alone. Come on. Just let this just permeate in your mind right now. Literally, Jesus could, when she ate the apple, he ate the apple. When we ate the apple, he ate the apple. Process this. That's a love that's beyond comprehension. Let me just see if I can paint a picture for you. When you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, make sure that you understand that because of love and no other reason than love, he walks with you. When you make choices that fall continually, choices, I want you to understand, we've always had a picture that this is God. Come on. We've always had a picture that this is Jesus. And you stay here. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and then I'll come back. This is what addiction does. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to do me, and then I'll come back to you because I know you love me, and I know you'll take me back in. Come on. But really, what we don't understand is Jesus said, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go one better. I will never leave you nor forsake you. And when you walk in that bar, I'm walking with you. Come on, you got to get this picture in your head. When you walk and you do the choices that you do, you must understand that he's not leaving you. You're taking him where you're going. When you eat the apple, he's eating the apple. Why? Oh, man. Because he loves you. For no other reason than for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him would not perish but have everlasting life. Come on. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but through his Son, the world might have life. See, this is it. This is how I saw it. And I got to be done. But I just wanted, I want you to see this. This is how I always saw it. That as I sinned, and this is what religion always taught me, is that God can't be a part of my sin. And that I just moved a little further, a little further, and a little further away until someday I was too far. And what Jesus said is, I will not lose one of them. Before the foundations of the earth, you were his, and he will not lose one of them. And what he's saying, come on, is that, hey, you want to do that? I'm just going to let you know I'm going to love you. I'm going to walk with you. But I just want you to know there's consequences for that. Listen, there's accountability for what you're about to do. You're about to take me a place that I should never be. Come on. That choice that you're making right now you could potentially lose your family. That choice you're making right now, you could lose your job over. It could cause you financial ruin. You could lose your children over that choice that you're about to make. But guess what? I'm going with you. When Eve and Adam sinned, they hid themselves in the garden. Watch this. They covered themselves with leaves to hide because of what? Shame. And God, who said he'll never leave you nor forsake you, don't you know he knew that? And guess what he did? Did he leave them? No, guess what he did? He walked in the garden. He came in after them. And this is what he said. Where are you? Where are you? And they said, we've sinned and we're ashamed, so we've covered ourselves. And this is God's response. Who told you you sinned? Who have you been listening to? Who told you then you're less than? Who told you that you're addicted? Who told you that you'll never be that? Who told you that you'll never accomplish things? Who told you? Who told you? Who told you that? What I thought was so amazing as I continued to read the story of Adam and Eve, there was consequences for their choices. God had to send them out of the garden. Everybody knows that. But the part that I never really realized is that in the very end of chapter 3, what you see is that while they've been put out of the garden, come on, they had covered themselves with their own shame. They had covered themselves with their own abilities. I don't know that you can catch that. Come on, you got to really dig deep here. They covered themselves by their own works, by their own hands. They cut leaves and covered themselves. They covered themselves. Come on, can I show you something? Before this happened, they're covering themselves because when they ate of the apple, they noticed that they're naked. They noticed their skin. They noticed their dirt. For the first time in all the time, guess what? They've been naked. They've been naked all of this time, and they didn't recognize it because they were so focused on Him, they didn't notice them. And so when they got, the first thing they did when they ate of the knowledge of the tree of fruit of the tree of fruit of knowledge, when they ate of that, the first thing they did is look down and saw that they're naked. So what they do is what we do. Is they started covering themselves with their own works and their own shame and their own guilt and started trying to hide from God behind a bush somewhere. And God walks in and says, where are you? I know where you are. Who told you that you're naked? And then He puts them out of the garden. Come on, watch this. And He replaces, come on, you got to lean in. He replaces their own sense of shame and covering. And He kills, the Father kills an innocent animal and covers His kids with a whole new cloth of leather. I don't know that you fully can encapsulate, even in their sin, even in their failure, even in their falling, even in their consequences, He's still their God. And He's still their Father. And He took away their own shame. He took away their own abilities to try to cover their mistakes. The fake facade that we put on, the smiling, the lies that we try to tell ourselves, the way that we try to buck up ourselves, the way that we try to perform in front of God, to act like we got it all together. They're nothing but just leaves. And the Father says, I'll tell you what, even in the middle of your mistakes, I'll cover you.